Before the first bullet was fired, before a single flag was raised, there was only one sound in our nation, the throb of a wounded heart.
Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, our nation stands at a crossroads. We have endured years of anguish, years of courage, and now a moment of change has arrived. The voices of the upright people of this land can no longer be silenced. Tonight, I speak to you not as a ruler, but as a fellow patriot, a son of this soil, who has heeded your call for change and security. For 7 years, a brutal insurgency has bled our country. Villages have been attacked and entire provinces live in fear. Thousands of innocent lives have been lost, and nearly 2 million of our people were driven from their homes. 2022 was on track to be the deadliest year of this tragedy. Every day, mothers mourn their children, and fathers dig graves instead of fields. We have watched our beloved homeland become the epicenter of violence in the Sahel, and each of us carries the weight of this pain. Yet, while people sacrificed, those in power failed to protect us. The state controlled barely 60% of our territory. In many towns, markets stood empty under terrorist blockades, and families went hungry. We remember the outrage when our own security forces ran out of food at Enada, before 53 of our brave soldiers were slaughtered in an attack. Such failures of leadership were a betrayal of the nation. You cried out in the streets of Ouagadougou and across the land, demanding action and demanding dignity, and still the old regime offered only excuses and silence. The breaking point came at the end of September 2022. A supply convoy carrying food and hope to the besieged city of Djibo was ambushed by terrorists. We lost 27 of our courageous soldiers and 10 civilian compatriots in that single attack. These were men and women who died trying to feed their brothers and sisters. That tragedy was a final, stark sign that our country was on the brink of collapse. My fellow citizens, it was on that day that we, the young officers of your army, knew we had to act or Burkina Faso would perish. And so, on September 30th, 2022, we made our decision. Alongside a handful of brave comrades, I stepped forward to take back the reins of our destiny. It was not for power or glory, but to answer the call of a people in despair. We had tried in vain to persuade those in charge to refocus on the security emergency. Our warnings fell on deaf ears. The old leadership had turned away from the mission we all swore to carry out. We decided that day to remove that leadership and give Burkina Faso a new start. With the patriotic movement for safeguard and restoration, we assumed the solemn responsibility of protecting this nation when no one else would. In those tense hours, as we stood in uniform under the glare of the television cameras, I felt the weight of history upon us, and I knew we had done what had to be done. To the world it was a coup, but to our people it was a revolution of hope. I saw it with my own eyes the next morning. Thousands of you poured into the streets, not to protest, but to celebrate a chance for change. There was widespread support for this transition because you understood that we acted to save our land, not to conquer it. You, the Burkinabè, simply wanted security and the return of our lost territories. Our move was a reflection of your will. It proved that when the people and the army stand together, we can change the course of our nation's history without a single vote cast, yet with the deepest legitimacy, a legitimacy born from suffering and hope. Believe me, I did not seek this path for personal ambition. I am a soldier who has seen comrades fall and communities suffer. I have held dying brothers in my arms on the battlefield. I have listened to the weeping of widows and orphans in our camps. Each loss cut into my soul as it did yours. How could I stand by while our mothers buried their children and our nation's leaders looked away? I accepted this burden because I could not do otherwise, because my conscience and my love for Burkina Faso compelled me to stand up for our people. Like each of you, I am first and foremost a patriot. And like you, I would give my life so that the next generation can live in a country at peace. I took on this responsibility, knowing the risks, because I love this nation more than I fear anything, that can be thrown against us. If that is not the duty of a Burkinabè soldier and son, then what is? Today we face a security and humanitarian crisis without precedent, but we face it together as one people. Our aim is clear and unwavering: the total reconquest of every inch of territory occupied by these terrorist hordes. We will not rest until Burkina Faso's very existence is secure again. Already, we have reorganized and strengthened our armed forces, and thousands of patriotic volunteers have answered the call to defend their villages alongside our soldiers. Africa News. Come. In the weeks after the change, we launched a nationwide drive to recruit 50,000 civilian guardians, volunteers for the defense of the homeland, to stand shoulder to shoulder with the army across the country. Africa News. Come. This is the spirit of Burkina Faso. When danger is greatest, ordinary men and women perform extraordinary acts of courage. Together, we will bring security back to our towns, reopen our schools, and replant our fields in peace. But security alone is not our final goal. Our struggle is also for the dignity and true sovereignty of our nation. We remember the ideals of our forefathers, those like Thomas Sankara, who taught us that we are the land of the upright people, proud and free. Burkina Faso will no longer beg for its survival or allow others to dictate our future. We declare that this country's destiny will be decided only by its own sons and daughters. Never again will we be anyone's pawn or colony. Side by side with our brothers and sisters across Africa, we will defeat imperialism and neo-colonialism for a free, dignified, and sovereign future. We reclaim our right to stand tall on the world stage, on our own terms, with our heads held high, and our feet firmly on our own soil. Brothers and sisters, the road ahead will not be easy. There will be more sacrifices, and there will be days of doubt and hardship. But remember this: the soul of Burkina Faso is unbreakable. We have been forged through adversity into a people united by our love for this land and our determination to see it prosper. Every farmer planting seeds, every teacher lighting the lamp of knowledge, every market woman selling her goods, every brave soldier standing guard, you are all part of this fight. When you refuse to give up, when you help your neighbor, when you stand up to fear, you carry our nation forward. If we remain united, there is nothing we cannot overcome. Tonight, I ask you to walk this path with me. Let us commit ourselves to restoring peace, reclaiming our land, and rebuilding our nation's pride, brick by brick. We undertake this journey so that one day soon, an elected government can inherit a country that is secure, sovereign, and strong. That will be the true victory of this transition, to return Burkina Faso to its people, healed and free. May God bless you all, and may God bless our beloved homeland. Long live the brave people of Burkina Faso. Long live our struggle for security, dignity, and sovereignty. Long live Burkina Faso, the land of the upright people,